Okay, what's going on? We're talking about some PRES Evoker changes coming into this video. So what we're looking at, firstly, new patch 10.2.5, we got buffs to PRES. Okay, so to start it off with, Essence Burst, now triggered by reversion. What that means is rotationally, you're going to get Essence Burst a lot more often. You're always spamming out reversions, echo reversions, that sort of thing. That now has a 15% chance to give Essence Burst, which is going to give you a free Essence ability. That's mana-wise and also your Essence cost up here. That's Echo, Disintegrate, and Emerald Blossom. So you're mostly going to be using Echo and Disintegrate, but if you watch my gameplay, you'll know that I also quite often weave in an Emerald Blossom for a Ancient Flame proc to get a Living Flame down in either rotations or burst healing situations. So that's always just useful. That's just quality of life change. It's going to be so much nicer rotationally for PRES now. And then following on from that with reversions, your grace period now has 5% extra healing per a reversion. So more healing overall. You're looking at 10% extra healing on a target with 2 reversions, which is basically what you maintain when you're healing someone. So Echo reversion, 2 reversions, 10% extra healing. Great. Can't complain. And then the next thing is that Timeless Magic now gives 20% mana reduction on reversion, time dilation, echo, and temporal anomaly, but we don't play that anyway. It's a PvE thing. And the reason this is important now is because the mana cost of most spells also increased by 10% to offset the Essence Burst procs that you're going to be getting. And so sadly, that means I'm going back to the default build. I really like playing with Flow State and Dream Flight as default. That's going to be gone now, sadly. I just don't think it's optimal anymore. So I used to run this setup. You're going to drop Flow State, you're going to drop Dream Flight, you're going to take 2 points Timeless Magic, 1 point Stasis. And with that, I think it's important to talk about Stasis and how to use it. So let's just go to the dummies quickly. Basically, you use Stasis to keep your Dream Flight active for as long as possible. So to do this, you're going to pop Stasis, you're going to Verdant, this is going to give you Call of Ysera, that buffs your Dream Flight by 40%. Then you're going to Echo, and you're going to Dream Flight. So that locks in 3 spells, and with those spells, you basically get your main core of your HPS. And then an important tip with Stasis is a new macro, which is if I press this right now, you'll notice I don't spend a global on my Stasis. And this is basically just in my stop casting macro, which is here. If I move that, no. So I have slash stop casting, but I also have cancel aura stasis. So this is going to make sure that stasis doesn't take up a global in your rotation. That's going to make everything quicker. And it's a tiny change, but it's just something that's really efficient. If you just press stasis again, it takes up a global cooldown. So if you watch my cooldowns right now, that global counter, that is going to trigger if you just press stasis. If you cancel aura, you get the full effect of stasis, but you don't get the global cooldown. So really good. There's the macro once again. If you want to copy it, that's what I use. I bind it to my stop casting, so it shares the slot. So the next step of this is Dreamflight is still good in certain situations. So to drop it, to take it, you drop Life Force Mender here, just 1 point, and you take Dreamflight instead. This is going to mean you're going to get less healing and damage out of your Living Flame. But you get Dreamflight, and the situations you want to take Dreamflight in is basically either against a sub-rogue, and the reason for that is you can Dreamflight someone who's in Shadowy Jewel, which basically allows you to keep them alive. If someone gets Shadowy Jeweled, most of the time they're just dead. It's on them to save themselves. You can use Rewind through it, you can use Dream Projection through it, but you can also use Dreamflight for it. So I've been using this as basically a guaranteed save on someone who gets Shadowy Jeweled when dampening's not too high. And the other reason you want Dreamflight is if you're healing melee cleaves, against AoE damage, being able to Dreamflight and then Lifebind the 2 targets just gives them so much HPS, and it's really going to help with high DPS situations. So that's where I would still take it. But most of the time, just run the 2 points in Life Force Mender. Don't worry about Dreamflight anymore. Sad to lose it, but it is what it is. We just go back to the default build. So that pretty much covers everything for 10.2.5. Got any questions? Leave it down below. And I'm going to be playing some games, so if you're watching this as it releases, I'll be live at twitch.tv/EliteDomain. Cheers.